All right. So this is why I do this every time. Hello, and welcome to ZBrush Live. This is Kermaco Designworks and hard surface design and sculpting in ZBrush. And before we get started, I always want to do a sound check. Things look like they're working really well at my end, but I was wondering if everything's good where you're watching. So if you're on YouTube or Twitch, please let me know in the chat that you can hear me. That would definitely help. All right, so just type I can hear you if you're on YouTube or Twitch in the chat. That would be really helpful. There's a few of you watching, so please chime in. Okay, I'll wait a few minutes. I guess there's a little bit of a delay, but other than that, let's go ahead and just mention a few things. Like, subscribe, do all the internet things, leave comments. If you have questions, you can type them into the chat and I will respond. And if you have questions and if you're watching this after the fact, you can type them into the comments, and every once in a while I go back and look at them. I can answer them then, and I think maybe people from Maxon could answer them as well. Okay, with that out of the way, I think it looks like we're going good on YouTube, which is awesome. So let's go ahead and get started. If somebody can Twitch, if somebody can chime in from Twitch too, that would be great. Okay, so here we are. And what I'm going to do here for this round is I'm going to turn, I'm going to turn off this image bar so you guys can see the top of the screen here that I have. And it looks like there's a little bit of what's behind bleeding in, but that's fine. And I don't know if there's any way I can kind of block that, but it doesn't matter. And there probably is, and I'll probably do it next time. I didn't realize that would be the case. But what we're going to do here is first go ahead and continue this. And if the battery holds up and if we're doing okay on the iPad, I'll stay on the iPad the whole time. And if we run out of batteries or I get to a point where I don't want to continue this, then I think we will go to the PC version of ZBrush and continue on there. So if you are an iPad for a ZBrush user, oops, let me just do one of these pages. It's kind of empty. If you are an iPad user, there just has been a new update, and so make sure you get it. And also make sure that you look into what some of the new capabilities are. They added surface noise, they added some UV capabilities, so it's definitely looking better. All right, so here, as I'm talking, I noticed that there is a certain issue here where this is not symmetrical. So let's fix that right out of the bat. So again, I have spacebar menu here, and in my custom menu, I have mirror and weld in X. So there we go, that fixes that issue. The other issue that I have here is that this is not pointing in the right direction. So the face is pointing forward over here, and the motorcycle is not. So let's go ahead and fix that. So go to the gizmo here, click on this famously referred to as the pizza boxes, and I'm going to hold shift down and just rotate this all the way around. Now you notice that one of the tires did not rotate. So the reason why that is because it's probably masked. So let's just go to that tool here. There we go, this guy, and let's unmask it. Okay, so now we should not have that problem. It should rotate just fine. Okay, so there it is. And also it looks like it's not very well centered in the, oops, what did I just do? Did I undo it? No, it's pointing in the right direction. But the other thing also is that you can see the origin is over here. And so I'm going to move the whole thing, kind of center it in the origin. So I'm good to go. Turn that off and then go back to sculpting brushes and then get in and start working on the bike. So I kind of decided to do this Akira-like bike. And I actually, in addition to having reference, I actually have one of these guys as a I don't know, action figure, I guess you call it, or maquette or whatever. And I had this for quite a while. And it's, as you can see, it's pretty nice. And having something physical when you're modeling always helps. I mean, there's a lot of things that you might not notice. If you're looking at the bike from one angle, you might see this part over here. And you might think that it's the same on the other side. I'll kind of see if I can zoom this in so you can see the rear tire. But if you turn it around, you'll notice that it's a little bit different. We're not doing this exact same bike, but I just wanted to point out that having something physically helps, because it allows you to kind of understand what you're modeling better. Now, if I was specifically doing this bike, then that would be the case. I'm just going to do something that's inspired by it. So it's going to just kind of be more of a that type of a bike where the person sits back and holds the handles, and also you know, inspired by it, but not the actual Akira bike. All right, so here what I'm going to do is straighten out the bottom part. So, oops. There we go, and start smoothing it. I need to make the adjustments to the smooth brush here. And if you can see this, the geometry here is pretty dense. I mean, it's pretty, I'm sorry, low res. So what I want to do here is maybe give it a subdivision level. So that is, where are you? Subdivide once, and we are going to leave smooth on and divide it once. And then let's divide it one more time. And so now we have a lot more geometry. Now to see that division, we just click on this again. I don't really need to see the wireframes. And let's see what kind, oh, that's maybe too much. Let's go down one level. Yeah, that's good. I just don't want to be getting into details just yet. I'm still kind of working on making this part. If you see me looking to the side, I'm actually looking at the bike itself just to kind of see the proportions and whatnot. And what's interesting is that there isn't this big of a look here, so I can probably make this a bit smaller. What's wild is that I was at Paintbox last week on Saturday, and I was watching a session by Craig Mullins, and I was before he got on, I was working on this, so it was kind of odd and good. I don't mean that in a bad way, but it was good to be working on something while I was waiting for him to come on. Right, so here I'm just going to move this down here. That's good. And let me make the brush size a little bit bigger. I keep saying brush size, but the actual term is draw size. Okay, and I'm going to, at this point, I'm just going to Dynamesh this thing. Is it 2 levels? It is. All right, so here I'm just going to click on Dynamesh. I don't want a free subdivision levels. I want the, let's see. I think I kind of went down in subdivision levels, so I'll just divide it one more time here. And I don't know why it didn't give me the detailed version, but that's fine. Okay, so I'm kind of, this is the seat of where he's going to sit, and kind of goes this way. And again, this is just a rough sketch. And these are really nice to be able to do while you're on the go. The iPad version, you can easily do these sketches and then refine them after you get back on the desktop, or sometimes, I mean, you can, in essence, do it with the iPad version as well if you want to. All right, let's choose the move brush, move this over. So this is kind of how the Akira bike one is. I might want to do this a little bit differently. Just by maybe cutting it off this way. Right. Okay, and I'll work on that a little bit later. Just start coming over here. So you guys can hear me okay? Nobody's saying anything. There's quite a few of you watching. If you guys want to say anything, let me know. News-wise, something really kind of sad happened yesterday, where they announced, I think it was yesterday, maybe the day before, where they announced that they are discontinuing Modo. So that's a software that I've used. I've got, you know, a video of it on my YouTube channel when Mesh Fusion came out. And honestly, I haven't used the software that much lately, but every once in a while I did go in to use Mesh Fusion, which was kind of a nice addition to it. And I think there was a product called Graboto that they bought, and they basically used some of the capabilities in Graboto. I think that's how you pronounce it, I'm not sure, in Modo. So but that's, you know, they basically discontinue it, so it kind of joins Softimage in the kind of the graveyard of software, CG software that once was really you know, all right. It's funny thing is that you can do these kinds of things live while you are working on the iPad. All right, Tristan. Oh wow. Okay. Wow. All right. So yeah, Modo was a kind of a tragic. A tragic thing, and so yeah. Rest in peace, Modo. I mean, I still have, you know, I didn't really subscribe to the newer versions. I still had the kind of the old 901 was kind of the version that I stuck on, and I can still continue to use it. I think they're allowing people to use it for 10 more years, but, you know, I think the writing's on the wall. The good news is Blender's there. A lot of the old Modo users are moving to Blender, and that's that. Right, let's kind of continue to look at this, and it's always good to look at this from different angles. Of course, I've got the silhouette up here, and I'm kind of liking how it's looking. Now the thing is, the gap here is a little bit bigger than what I have in the, I guess it's not, I guess it's almost the same. I can make it a little bit shorter. All right, let's do that. Go to the gizmo. And again, I'm still a little bit clunky with this. And it's only because, you know, it's brand new. So I will probably get a lot more efficient with the way that I work on this later on. But for now, I think it's pretty straightforward. Okay, I think I've got the floor going on here. I don't really need it, so let's turn that off. And just use Damien Standard. I'm just kind of using this brush to just sketch out, kind of get some major shapes in place. And then once I have those, then I can start refining them. And again, I can do that here, or I can also take it to the desktop version, which is probably what I'll do, and then do it in there. All right, let me just see real quick how I'm doing battery-wise. There was a fast way of doing it. Is there, like, I think it's a, nope, that's not it. Battery is not here yet. It is. Okay, 92%. I'm good. All right. Yeah, that's great. If I'm 92% and I've been in this for 20 minutes, I think I might be able to do the whole stream with this just fine. All right, so with the model, again, looking at this, the feet go over here somewhere. So I need to hollow this out over here, right? And I'm going to use the clay buildup to do that. Maybe choose a smaller draw size and then push in. Started to push in, but then let go of Alt. All right. And again, I'm not using a keyboard here. I'm trying to do everything just on the iPad. And the reason why I'm doing that is deliberate, because I will want to be doing this when I am out and about, and I probably will not have a keyboard with me, and I don't really want to have a keyboard with me. However, I am using one prop, which I highly recommend if you are using the ZBrush version of or the iPad version of ZBrush, is a sketchboard, and that is really useful when you are tethered, meaning when you are connected at home. So if I'm at home, I usually just jump on the desktop version. I don't use the iPad version, but sometimes if I'm on the couch or something like that, or watching something and want to sketch while I'm doing that, I can just start sketching, and that makes it a lot more comfortable, because I could just put that on my lap and then continue to work. And it's a nice little kind of stand. I think I showed it last time. If you guys are interested, you can go to my last stream and see it towards the end. And if anybody's interested, I can also show you. I can also show you at the end of this stream as well. All right, so this is kind of coming along. I don't know what the hell happened up here. Let's just smooth that out. Right, and at this point, it's all just one piece. I will divide it up at some point, but for now, I'm just kind of getting a good understanding of, you know, the way this is. Now, also, I'm going to see if this kind of will work over here. Like so. All right. And again, I'm just going to re-Dynamesh this. Didn't want to go that low. Okay, so let's go over here to Dynamesh and set a higher resolution, 37. Let's go to at least, yeah, let's go to about around there. That's good. And, you know, you can always do the thing where you can, do they have it here? Where you can drag over? I guess not. Resolution, groups. I don't know what these are. Oh, they have a thing now where if you hover over something, it tells you what it is, but I guess it's not on here yet. It does for brushes and whatnot, but see, like if you hover, it tells you what it is. But I guess they didn't implement it for Dynamesh. Yes, I want to see speed subdivision laws. No, I don't want to do that. Let's try this one more time. No. Yeah, this is kind of what I want. All right, good. All right, so this is looking okay. This is, you know, on the model, it just kind of comes out. Let's bring this out like this. Let me see what it looks like. I'm going to turn transparency on here. Okay, I don't have enough resolution. I need a bigger brush size. I'll do that. Am I still on here? Yeah. Do move. Actually, I'm going to go to this move infinite depth, which is going to move this all the way through, so it will be symmetrical. All right, so that's kind of good. And then I'm just going to use see if trim dynamic works. Yeah, I'm just going to use trim dynamic to kind of knock this down a bit. And then let's go to H polish and just polish it up. Again, I'm not really being too precious about this right now. All right, so I want this to be a circular shape, and the best way to do that is I'm going to mask the rest of the model like so. And maybe not mask this part. And mask this. Right, And then Control Shift, and use the circle one from the center and draw this out. Let's see if this will work. Let's move this over to here, like so. All right, so it didn't work because I also needed to reverse it. All right, let's try it one more time. Control Shift, draw this out. Use spacebar to move it to where I want it to go. And see, it's kind of, the color is white, but if I hold Alt down, now it's this color, and this is exactly what I wanted. So there it is, perfect. Let's Dynamesh. And let that run through. Okay, and now it's kind of more the way I want it to be. And what I want to do is I want to create more of a incline here. Again, I'm just getting inspired by the actual model itself, but I'm also making my own version of it. And this is going to be a motorcycle that I'm going to put in a scene. I already have the character for it. I just need to do the motorcycle. All right, so let's move this down to here. One of the really nice things about ZBrush for iPad, especially if you're a new user, is that the navigation is very, very nice. Like, I think it takes a lot less time. Whoa, what did that happen there? I think it takes a lot less time for somebody to, know how to do this, how to use it here, than the PC version. Okay. Okay, and again, I'm not going to be too precious about this, but I just kind of want to place the major landmarks. All right, so you guys are being super, super quiet today. Don't know why. Anybody have a subject you want to talk about? Maybe let me know where you are tuning in from. What country, what time zone. And this is going to be a visor, so this is probably going to be the first thing I cut off, which is just glass. And I'm just going to poly paint this just to get a little bit of paint on it. Do I have the poly paint brushes here? No, let's add it. Okay, so the way I would add it is I just go over to this, go to paint. There it is. And I'm just going to click and hold and drag and drop to here, and there it is. Done. Okay. Oh, I guess it did have it. All right, no worries. All right, and I'll just pick a color. Let's say some of the things on the iPad are better than the desktop version. This is one of them, which is the color object here, the fill object. Everything is kind of in here, which is really nice. I mean, I have it in my UI, kind of separated out, but it is nice to have it. Here, let's pick kind of a nice blue color. It is nice to have it just all in one place like this. So now I need to make a version of this that does not feather, but I just kind of want to get an idea that this is going to be glass. Again, just really, really rough. And then let's go back to another thing that would be nice here is if they had a thing like Photoshop does, where he basically just switches you to black and white. I think, does this do that? No, that just reverses it. Yeah, it would be nice to have a little button here that you press, and then you just get, I'll let them know that you could just kind of go back to black and white. Okay, so I don't need transparency on anymore. I'm going to turn that off. How are we doing on battery? We're good, 87%. Nice. All right, let's go back. Let's go to here. I think I'll be able to do this whole session on the iPad today, unless somebody has a burning question on the PC. All right, so nobody's responding as to what where you're watching from. Come on, guys, type it in the chat. It's always fun to know where people are tuning in from. To inflate this a little bit, it's too thin over here. Let's re-Dynamesh. And H-polish. Draw size smaller. One thing I noticed that I do on the iPad more so than the PC is like if I don't want to change my draw size, I can always, I guess it does change with your zoom level. It's fine. One of the things that they did is that you could, I don't have the newer iPad, but if you did, you just point to the draw size and you rotate your pencil and it will change the draw size, which is kind of nice. But I don't have the new iPad. Mine is an older model, I guess an M2, and the new one is an M4. They jumped one processor, went directly from 2 to 4 on the iPad. I'll probably get it at some point. But right now, with the kind of the state of the industry, I don't want to incur any expenses that are not absolutely necessary. But if anybody from Apple is watching and wants to give me the new iPad, I'll be gladly accept it. I guess ZBrush is kind of a new thing for Apple users. Well, I guess not, because they do have a Mac version. But I think they showed ZBrush for iPad at the launch of the iPad M4, so they do know about it. I don't know how excited about it they are, though. All right, it would kind of be nice to have a character to put in here, so maybe at some point, after I kind of get this to a certain point, I'll kind of see if I can pose a character to put in there. So it's looking good. I kind of like the silhouette. I'm looking at it over here, and it looks pretty nice. And yeah, so like the guy's legs would be here, and then they would sit over here. See, is clay is here. I don't know why I didn't have clay tubes. I think most people okay, so I think most people that's interesting. RGB turns on when you are in alt mode. I wonder if that's just the way the brush is, or if I inadvertently made a change there. Right, let's Dynamesh it again. Yes, it is inspired by the Canada bike, absolutely, and here it is. I don't know if you saw the beginning of the stream, but I actually have a physical model of it. I don't know if you can see it, and I have it on the side here. I also have a bunch of reference pictures. I'm not actually making the bike itself, but I'm making something very similar to it. Not very similar, but something inspired by it, I should say. It is a cyberpunk character that I have. And I guess I don't know if I can show you the character on the iPad. I can show it to you on the PC maybe later. But I already have the character done. She's posed and ready to go. I just need to get this bike in the scene behind her or next to her. If you go to my Instagram, you can see it. You can see the character. It's a couple of characters or a couple of posts back, but there's a bunch of them, bunch of images of her from different angles. So yeah. All right, it's getting there. I guess if I want to make this a little bit more Kaneda-y, if that's a word, I can make it red, right? So let's go in here and paint it. Actually, I can also do it this way, which probably will be a lot faster. All right, so mask. Wow, look at these new icons. That's funny. I didn't realize that they had these newer icons for this. So here's all the smooth stuff, and here's all the masking stuff. Let's choose the mask. I guess I could just use mask pen. I just want to mask this glass so it doesn't paint, but I'll make the rest of it red. That way people will know it's inspired by the Kaneda bike. Right, something like that, and then just fill object. Maybe deeper red. There we go. Clear the mask. Yeah, see? All right. Yeah, it's a lot of fun working on the iPad. It really is. I wonder if the occlusion thing is available here. Let's see if I can find it. Occlusion. Is it here under display? Canvas, maybe? No. Where would it be? Where would it be? Maybe not here, but maybe in these menus under display. Okay, no. I still am figuring out where everything is. Could it be under camera? No. Stroke, texture, transform. Nope. Yeah, one of the things that they added, you can see here, is if you go to, well, maybe it's under there, but I'll just kind of go back to here. So things that they added are they added the UV menu, which is here somewhere, and they also added noise. I think all the stuff's over here. Distribute, project, extract, transpose, master boolean. No, it's not here. Nope. I think, where would it be? Tool. Yeah, here we go. So surface is here. So this is where all the noise is, and I'm pointing to it here, but you guys can't see it, like right there. Okay, and then is there display here? Displacement map, display properties. Here we go. Double, flip, mesh smoothness options, BPR settings, BPR visibility, shadows. No, it's not here. Okay, display properties. I guess there's no other place it would be. All right, well, I guess they don't have that. Okay, greetings from Turkey. Okay, so we got somebody in Turkey. Okay, great. Where in Turkey are you? My uncle's wife was there not too long ago. I think she went on a tour with some friends. All right. At least I've got one person saying where they're from. Anybody else? Taka Musao, where are you from? Are you from Japan? Right, so right now I'm just trying to find shapes. Again, just as this is all really very rough, a rough sketch. I'm going to try looking for that. I'm going to try looking for the let's try and keep that on. Yeah, it's probably not under BPR settings. Let me look again. Transparent shading, BPR visibility, shadows, BPR material blend, smooth, BPR smooth, normals, tangent. Nope, this is not it. I guess these are for when you render, which creates this. But what I want to do is get that ambient occlusion option, and I don't see it. And I'm thinking it's either in here somewhere, so probably not under navigation, not under input, UI maybe. No, memory draw, no. Yeah, it's pretty wild. It's somewhere in these menus. I think they should have it. Yeah, it would be under display properties. I guess they don't have it. All right, I'm getting, I'm getting a little bit more detailed than I want to here. I kind of still want to keep this loose. I still want to be able to just kind of get a general idea of what this looks like and then continue it from there. All right. That's fine. Funny, the number of viewers keeps going up, but you guys are very, very quiet. What's going on? Maybe I need to do some giveaways or something to entice people to speak up. All right, it's starting to come together. All right, so at this point, what I want to do is I want to create, let's see, control. I want to start creating some polygroups. So I'm going to switch over to wireframe here. This is pretty dense. All right, yeah, that's fine. And maybe not yet. And then start kind of figuring out some polygroups. So I'm going to mask the areas that I'm going to separate out. So there's the chair. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and sharpen that mask. Okay. And you guys can see what buttons I'm pressing. It's Control and Alt, Control Alt tapping on it will sharpen the mask. And then let's see if I have this already. Group visible. No, is there group masked? I don't have it, so let's add that. Okay, so I'm going to customize the UI, go to quick menu here, and I'm going to go to the third one, and it's under masking. Oh no, it's under polygroups, and then polygroup. Group masked. Press and hold, move it, drop it here, and then let's also do group masked as well. And okay, do I want to add the polish? Maybe. I'll add it now, but later on I might remove it. Okay, so that's done. All right, so let's use what we just did to group mask, clear mask. Okay, and let's take a look at the polygrouping here. Yep, but you can kind of see it's a different color. And then I can split my polygroups later on to separate it out. All right, I'm going to do that right now. So I'm just going to go to split. There it is. Split, split, split. Where are you? And groups split. There it is. Yes, is okay. All right, so now I've got the chair is its own thing. I'll solo it out so we can see it. Where is solo? Right, there it is, and I'm just going to Dynamesh that so it's closed, and I'm also going to pick the color and fill it, and maybe pick a different color for it. Let's just choose like a brownish color. Right, fill object, there it is. Now it's got these weird sharp edges, but that's fine. I can just smooth it all out. Redynamesh, smooth it all out. Redynamesh. And I could possibly redynamesh this at a smaller resolution, like maybe something like this. Let's see if that helps. Just want to get rid of these like sharp, weird edges. Now, another way to do that is to just go to the deformation here and polish it. There we go. Okay. Go away. Right, so now let's bring the whole thing back. Okay, so, and then let's go to the bike itself and Dynamesh that. Right, solo it out. No, it Dynameshed this part incorrectly. Or not, it didn't Dynamesh, it actually did it fine. But I just need to make it sure it's, oh man. I don't want that window to get filled, so let's just mask that. Nope, too much. Right, fill object. There it is, unmask. All right. Now I don't really want to polish this piece because well, maybe, you know, maybe a little bit might not hurt because I don't want to get rid of some of those details. But I do want to kind of have this work better. All right, so now I've got the seat as a separate part, and I've got the bike as a separate part, and so I kind of want to make some modifications to the seat, mostly, oops. Bring this part forward. Again, this is all just, you know, like clay. It's all very fluid. And it's always a good idea to look at the reference to see how they did it and get inspired by the tricks. I'm a big Akira fan, so I've watched that movie many times. The first time I saw that bike, I almost lost it. It's just a beautiful, beautiful bike. It really is. Otomo did a really, really good job designing that thing. All right, so there's that. So the seat's kind of looking a little bit better. Now let's go to the body and continue to work on that. I'll probably be separating out more pieces as time goes on. Now this whole front part, interestingly enough, if you look at it, oh, we got 2 people from Turkey today. Wow, it's Turkey Day. All right, so if you look at the front part here, you can see that it kind of does this. I don't know if you guys can see it. I'll move it closer. So this is how it opens up and he gets in, and there are all these cool parts in here as well, right? So, but this is a whole separate piece. So the front part is broken off, and I'm going to do the same thing here. And also the way that this turns, I don't know if it does. Does it turn? No, it doesn't. But the way it would turn is this would kind of bend this way. So I kind of want to be able to do that as well. So I think maybe that's the next thing I will do, is cut off this piece. So the best way to do that is to do the slice. So we'll Control and Shift, and let's pick this. Where are you? Slice curve. There it is, and we'll just. This is kind of a touchy thing to do, and I should actually have polyframe on to see this. And I think about here would be good. Let's see if it did polygroup it. Probably did. Yes, so there it is. And then I'm just going to do a group split. So again, under subtool and group split 2 parts. So now I've got this part and this part, 2 separate parts. Let's go to this one separately here, see what we got. Let's Dynamesh it. Now there's this part over here that's going to cause problems, so I'm just going to use the knife curve to get rid of that. Oh, didn't do it. Why not? All right, let's Dynamesh first. Okay, and I don't really need this kind of bottom part here, or yeah, I don't need that, so that needs to go. All right, again, knife, spacebar, and there it is. Good. Let's turn polyframe off, and let's go ahead and pick the red color again. Fill object, and let's kind of smooth out these areas where we had the cuts. Right, and I probably will separate out this back part too, but I'm not going to do it right now. And then let's go to this front part, see what we got there. Solo that out, Dynamesh it so it closes up. And let's just smooth it out. Like so. Okay, so now this is kind of separated out, and what I want to do, solo it out first. So I don't really know if I need these like parts over here, so I'm just going to push them in with clay buildup. Like that. All right, just do one of these guys. All right, yeah, this is going to be something like this, and then this part over here, and this is actually going to continue on. So I'm just going to use this move depth, maybe bigger brush size here, draw size. I'm going to say it correctly. And let's go to this, go to clip. Yeah, I think the way to choose these on the iPad is kind of better than the PC version, where when you press Control, all these come up. When you press Shift, all these come up. I think that would be a cool thing to implement on the desktop. All right, I think I'm kind of losing some of the symmetry here. Not a problem. Again, spacebar, go over here, mirror and weld. We're good. There we go. see all the different parts. Okay, so this is kind of going into there. And just to kind of help me with the visuals, I'm going to paint this back part a little bit darker. A little bit darker red or more saturated. Okay, fill object, so I can just tell what's what. Okay, and then I think just going to go to the regular move tool and create the place where he puts his feet. And also here, this kind of goes up into here like so. Right, let's mirror and weld this. So we're maintaining symmetry. This is looking good. This chair kind of got messed up a little bit. That's not a big deal. All right, so here we go. It's coming together. And then the handles are pretty interesting here because I have mine out pretty wide, but theirs is not as wide. So I'm going to use the anchor brushes here to anchor. Use the anchor brush to rotate, so I'm going to place one point here and then just rotate, put one point here. All right, why is this not working? Oh, am I on the right? I'm not on the right. Why isn't it working? Because you're not on the right subtool. Okay, here we go. And just rotate this in. Nope, that's not what I want to do. Let's move these a bit in as well. And also the ones, oddly enough, in the on the bike itself are not going out. So I'm going to, they're kind of this way. Actually, that doesn't look too bad. I'll probably, I'll be modeling these or putting separate pieces in here for the handlebars. But right now, again, this is all just sketching. This is, me hanging out at a bus stop or a train stop or something like that, or at an office, doctor's office, or whatever I'm doing. I could just kind of do this while I'm waiting instead of doom scrolling or playing a game on my phone. I could just spend a little bit of time and sculpt, right? One of the nice things about the ZBrush for iPad is it's actually not that expensive, and there is a free version, so you can always get that and play around with it. Honestly, it's good to kind of kick the tires, but you definitely do need the full version to do anything serious. Even if you get the paid version, it's like $100 a year. It's not bad. And if you have the desktop version, you get the iPad version for free, the full version. So it's pretty nice deal. All right, there's that. It's looking good. It's looking really good. All right, let's go back to the tail here. Standard. And again, this is all just really rough sketching. I will refine this over time and get some interesting design ideas. I'm going to use H-polish, or actually I'm going to use a different brush. Let's see if it's in here. The trim brushes, are they here? Trim, not trim, but and I will go ahead and put that on my UI once I find it. These are kind of interesting. Pattern brushes, not select, not cuts, smooth, snake hook. No, I'm just going to go to all and find it. It's one of the, maybe it's not in here. It's not because it's in the, yeah, they're plainer and polished. They don't have the other brushes. Trim adaptive, no. Trim dynamic, no. I think it's trim hole is what I'm looking for, and it's not here. Okay, so all the brushes that come with ZBrush, you can still get them and use them. If you have the desktop version, you can always you know, bring them and load them into here. There's the option to load brushes. I just haven't done it, but I will put trim hole in here because it is one that I use all the time. All right, so hide this. Now I'm just going to, you know, kit bash a little bit, put some, here's a circular piece, for example, and I might want to just place one of those there like that. And right, just did an autosave, which is, and did it pretty fast. Right, so this piece is going to go here this way. I'll hold Control down just to get a. Is it not working? How come it's not working? Okay, good. So this works. It's just it's too big. So I need to make my draw size a little bit smaller, and then draw and hold Control down to get a specific size. And now it's too small, somewhere in the middle of the two. Right. There it is, yeah, something like that. And then just use the gizmo to kind of place this better. Yeah, make it maybe a little bit smaller, pull it out. So it's kind of a nice way to do this. And then if I just do Control and Control one more time, now this is basically Dynameshed in into here. Maybe not. No, it is. Okay, and let's just fill object it, right? And now it just is part of that sculpture, and I can just kind of smooth it out. It's all fused together. Again, this is just a rough sketch, and I'm just trying to get some basic shapes in place so that I can later on make different additions. All right, so what can I do here to make this a little bit more at this point I can make some major changes to it. So I'm just kind of trying to see here if this looks a little bit better if I do something like that in the back. Maybe not. Kind of liked it when it was just kind of flat. It's kind of hard not to do the same design because it's such a good design. So it's kind of hard to veer off of it too much. It's tea time. That looks neat. You may buy it. What are you going to buy? Blind Wolf V, I guess is the name. What are you buying? The bike that I have, or the software? Let's go here. Now, I got to start thinking about like other things like lights. Where would lights go? On most motorcycles, it's over here in this area. So let's see if I can add that. So again, I'm just going to go to the move brush here and experiment with, oh, it should be on this piece. See, separating things out is good in one way, but not good in others, because like you have to keep jumping back and forth between pieces, but it's easy enough to do. So that. Oh, the bike, yeah, it's pretty neat. I don't know if it's available anymore. I think you can buy them, but they are. But I think that you can still buy them, but I don't think they're made now. So it probably would cost a lot of money, depending on the condition it's in. I've got one. I got one as a present a while back, which is basically the bike and Canada, and it's unopened. And I'm tempted to sell it, but I also kind of really like it. So, but I also have the bike separately. I think the company that made this is McFarlane Toys. And they made it ages ago, and I don't think they've done a new edition of it. They should. I think people are into Kira still, but you can probably find the older one somewhere. It probably costs a lot of money. Or another thing you could do is you could build it in ZBrush and then 3D print it. So there's that option too. All right, how's the silhouette looking? It's looking good. By the way, another way to get a silhouette is you just go to flat color, and that kind of gives you another type of a silhouette as well. So here I'm just I see it in color, and okay. So one of the things I noticed here, it's always good to look at silhouettes because you can always try to fix the silhouette. So what I want to do is, oops, maybe pick a little bit of a smaller draw size. And I want to figure out this angle a lot better. My cat is scratching at something. I don't know what it is. All right. Yeah, this is the iPad version of ZBrush. JJUTT. That's what it is. All cars look the same in a wind tunnel, which is somewhat boring. I agree. Especially new car designs are kind of uninspired. I mean, there's a few really nice ones, but most of them are ugly. I think the Cybertruck's like the ugliest car ever made. I mean, I don't know if you guys looked at older cars like a Pinto or whatever. Those cars used to be really ugly, but the Cybertruck is kind of heinous looking. And they're, and I don't know if you have them where you are, but there's a lot of people that have them in LA, and you see them around, and the people who drive them are just as obnoxious as the cars are. I really think Tesla has really kind of, I mean, I'm sure the cars are great. I've never driven one or had one, but I think their design is just not, it's very kind of generic. I think for a while there, Hyundai was doing some good designs, and I've done some training for their designers, and know they have some really great designers there. BMWs have not really looked that great lately either, and yeah, I don't know. I mean, they have some models that do look good, but for the most part, I'm not a big fan of BMWs. The new ones, especially with those big rabbit teeth looking things in the front. Audi has some nice cars. Let's see what else. I mean, of course, if you're going to go with like Ferraris and Lamborghinis and Porsches, you know, they're beautiful, but I'm not that kind of a car person. I think if you own one of those cars, you kind of have to subscribe to that lifestyle, and it's not for me. All right, what happened to all the materials? Oh, here we go. I'm going to use one of these new materials that they have, these monster clay materials. They're pretty nice, and there's 2 versions of them. I'm just going to go to standard material here, and let's go ahead and pick the, where are you? Monster clay. Can't find it. Reflection, skin shade, tri-shade, Z metal, steel. Did they not add the standard ones here? I guess not. They just, oh, here we go. Monster clay is its own category. Love it. All right, so monster clay, flat color. Okay, there we go. They have 3 different ones. There's the brown, green, and gray. I'll choose the gray one. And of course, you can change its color. But this looks good. Let's bring everything back. All right, so it's funny, now that I did that, this whole car looks like or a motorcycle looks like it's made of clay. I don't know if this was the right choice of material. Let's go back to standard and go to basic material. Let's try something else. Let's see if metal. No. I kind of like sometimes just working in skin shade 4. I think that might have been what I had before, or basic material. Yeah, let's go to skin shade 4. Let's do that. I have specific materials that I use on the desktop. I haven't loaded them into here yet. I did before, but after I updated, I didn't. So let's go to satin, no. Silver, no. Soft plastic, no. Skin shade 4. Okay, let's just do skin shade 4 for now. Oh. All right, so again, still kind of trying to find shapes and figure out how to do these things. And once I kind of get the general idea down, which I think I'm getting to here, all I got to do then is just kind of tighten it up. This part is kind of fun to do, because that's where you find the shapes. All right, I'm trying to get away from the Canada bike, and I'm still ending up doing it. It's just so, you know, that is a tribute to how great the design is. It's such a good design that it's kind of hard to avoid. Kind of like Giger's Monsters, and you know, if you try to do something like that, it's hard to. I remember when they were doing Prometheus, talked with a friend of mine who was working on the project, and it was really difficult for them to create something new that did not look like what Giger did. They were able to do some good stuff. I think the Deacon monster was kind of interesting. What happened there? Oh, didn't want to do that. The Deacon was really interesting, and so was that the thing that kind of impregnated her and then became that like big, huge monster. That was kind of cool too. I think that was Prometheus. Yeah, it was. Okay. Just get that little bit of a sharper cut there. All right, bunch of stuff saying. It feels great. It feels really, really good. The ZBrush for iPad feels great. I mean, you know, sometimes when I go back to the desktop, I'm like, oh, why doesn't the desktop version have this thing? So it's nice. It really is. They did a great job. I was really kind of sweating it when they said they were going to do it. I thought, okay, well, maybe they'll just do like some pared down version of ZBrush or whatever. But it's pretty close. I mean, and they're going to get even closer to the desktop version. So, I mean, for a first kind of version of it, it's awesome. Personally, it's part of my workflow already, and I use it all the time. Wherever I go, if I have my iPad with me and I'm having it with me more and more, I always kind of take a few minutes here and there and just sculpt anywhere. One of the other things that they added, which I should also mention, I won't be able to kind of do anything with it, but I should mention that it is there and it's a pretty amazing feature. Is if you go to surface noise here, or go to surface and noise. Where are you? Here you are. Right. If you go to surface here and turn noise on, it basically just brings this UI up. Right. And so you can add a noise or whatever, but you can also add an alpha. So you can either select an image here. And one of the things you can do is you can select an image from your photo library or your iPad or whatever, but you can also like choose the camera. And what's nice about that is like you're somewhere and you just want to get a texture and apply that to your model. You can just take the camera of the iPad and just point it at whatever you are looking at, take a picture, and then use it as an alpha or a texture on your model. It's really, really awesome. I think that's one of those things where, you know, the desktop version, you're not going to do that, right? I mean, you're not going to, you know, you're not going to have a camera connected to it. You're going to take the picture somewhere with a camera, then bring it and put it in your desktop. So, you know, there are definitely a lot of advantages and cool things you can do with the iPad version that you can't do with the desktop version. So, yeah, I mean, what a great option to have. And I was really worried when, you know, Maxon bought ZBrush because I was like, oh my God, you know, what's going to happen? But they've been doing some really cool stuff with it since they bought it. And this is one of them. I don't know if Pixelogic would have had the resources to do a full iPad version while working on the other version as well. Now, unfortunately, the desktop version is suffering because of this, because they haven't really updated too much on the desktop version. But it's worth having the iPad version as a sacrifice of that. But who knows? I mean, you know, there probably will be something on the desktop at some point. I'm sure they didn't stop developing for it. And there is a version 2025, although it doesn't really have too many new things in it. It just has a thing where I can press one button and send this over to the ZBrush on the PC, which is pretty nice. But that's kind of not like new capabilities, but you never know. They might add some new stuff. Who knows? All right. Lancia is coming with an EV sometime soon. I don't know what Lancia is. I'll take a look. I don't know if we have too many of those here. Where are you from, Blind Wolfie? Is that a U.S. car? I'm not familiar with Lancia. Yeah, it does definitely have an Akira vibe. That's what I'm using for reference. Yeah, the texture integration with the camera is really really cool. Like when I saw that was available, like I just kind of went bonkers and started going outside and taking pictures and trying things out. I mean, adding them as noise is really good. Maybe next time I'll show how to do that. I mean, right now I don't really have any of those images saved because I was just kind of trying stuff out. But next time around, maybe I'll take a few pictures and just show you kind of the types of things you can do. It's pretty impressive. And I think they're starting to put videos of what they just added to the iPad version online. So Rodolfo could be showing some of those stuff already, and you can see them there. But yeah, it's pretty impressive. All right, so here I'm kind of veering off of the model a little bit. I'm kind of creating a different thing here. And maybe one of the things I will also think of doing is taking this up higher. I told the dude I was streaming, and I guess maybe he didn't see it. It's going to be funny when I tell him about it. It'll be like, you can go watch it in the video, Paul. Ah! I think we're going to have a nice laugh when I tell him what was going on. I need to turn those notifications off somehow. All right, so it's saving, which is kind of nice. It has autosave. And also I will save it myself. All right, so it's coming together. Now, how much time do we have? Oh, good. We have plenty of time. How are we doing on battery life? We are at 66%. That's not bad. So you can probably go like a good 2 hours with this without even charging, which is nice. And I'm doing some heavy duty stuff here. So, I mean, I haven't really gotten into a very heavy model yet, but yeah. All right, so I kind of am liking what I'm doing here. This is kind of breaking away from it. I kind of also like this kind of fork here that I've done. So I will kind of try to accentuate that if I can. Let's see. Let's look at this from the bottom. Turn transparency. Oops, not that. Transparency on. And I'm going to start bringing these out. See if I can get some interesting thing going with that. All right. All right, let's take these out a little bit further. Oh, man. All right, so that's the danger of working in one direction. I kind of want these to go out, not the ones on top. There we go. Let's just use this. Right, and just take these out. This is a brush that is not used as much, but it's very, very useful. The move infinite depth. I think that's a really, really good brush because you kind of, you know, you don't get those indentations when you kind of do these types of pulls, and I definitely need that here. Right, and I'm just going to take this out as much as I can, and then I'm going to use the same trick that I did earlier with the Control down and just do this. Okay, and then reverse that mask. Right, and let's see if this works in the first shot. Okay, so that. Draw out the way I want it to look. Hold spacebar, move it, and then hold Alt down. It's like playing the piano. And let go. Here it is. Wow, nice. One shot did it. It's kind of not symmetrical, but not a problem. I'm going to solo this out for now. So it's not symmetrical, but I will use my mirror and weld, and we're good. All right, so now that I have kind of the base of it, I'll go ahead and start kind of cutting into it. And this is going to be tricky because I don't want to mess up this back part. All right, so I'm going to do another separation here, and I'm just going to separate this whole back part. And the way I'm going to do that again is I'm going to use the knife curve, which is this guy right here, and just go like that, and like that. Oh, yep, okay. Now this should give me 2 polygroups. Yep. All right. It's funny. Look at the geometry over here. It's kind of funny. It just really like messed it up, but it's fine. I'll re-Dynamesh in a minute. So here, I'll just go ahead and go here to subtool and split to parts. And, oh, not split to parts, but I'm going to go to Polygroups and, no, I'm going to do group split. That's what I'm going to do. Okay, so now that's done. And I'm going to solo this out and turn polyframe off. Now let's just Dynamesh it, close this part off and kind of smooth it out. And then there's the other part here, which I just separated out. And I'm going to Dynamesh that as well. And now I don't affect the top part when I mess around with this. So I'm just going to go here, do this. Yeah, the navigation on the iPad is really nice. Like when I teach students, like I would love to teach them how to do these things on the iPad because it's very intuitive and very fast. On the PC, you know, kind of figuring out how to navigate is a little bit more difficult, but it's kind of so natural just to use your fingers to zoom in and out. And by the way, when you guys see these two dots appear, that's when I'm touching the screen, right? So I'll do it kind of here. So you kind of see this as I, you know, I'm just zooming in and out, and then I'm just, you know, oops, didn't want to do that. I'm rotating and all that. So it happens really, really nice. Now, another thing that I should do, I haven't done it, I guess I can. Another kind of piece of advice I can give you on the iPad is if you get the iPad version, and that's the only version you have, I'd recommend two things. I definitely would recommend getting one of those sketchboard thingies. They're not that expensive. And also get one of these gloves. So that also helps with palm rejection and all that kind of stuff. But if you get those two things, I think that helps a lot with the iPad version. Especially if you are going to do like long sessions where you are, you know, working on a project for work or something like that, and you're working on the iPad only. Those two things have really kind of made my life a lot easier. All right. So now I'm just going to smooth this out, and I'm going to use another trick here. Let's see if that works. I'm going to mask this part. Maybe I'll just do this separately here. It might be easier. So, oh, I didn't Dynamesh it? Let's Dynamesh that so we get this part closed. Smooth this part out. And then I just want to mask this portion. Right here. All right. Let's see. Oh, Lance is an Italian car. Oh, yeah. I'll definitely take a look at it. Thanks for letting me know. I always like looking at new cars. I'm not using the keyboard. No, I'm not using the keyboard. The reason why I'm not using the keyboard is because if I'm working on the iPad, I'm probably going to be out and about. So I'm not going to take my keyboard with me and have it. So I'm kind of trying to train myself not to use the keyboard and try to see how much of I can get away with without using the keyboard. I mean, it's kind of a little bit of a challenge. You know, I'm a little bit slower, but the navigation makes things a little bit faster. So it's kind of a, you know, it's kind of a wash, I guess. But yeah, no, I'm not using a keyboard. You can. No. Well, you know what? That's another really good thing you mentioned. So, no, the sketchboard is like this board, and I'll show it at the end of the stream after after we're done. Let's see, in about maybe 20 minutes or 30 minutes, I'll show you what the sketchboard is. It's just like this plastic board that you put the iPad into, and it kind of goes around it. And then, so, you know, if you're on the couch, it kind of is something you can hold on to. Which makes kind of the iPad a little bit more stable, and then you can work on it. And also right now I'm using it because it's good when you're on a desk or whatever. It kind of is like a tablet, and you can get like monitor arms for it or whatever, and you can just make adjustments and whatnot. It's super, super useful. And also, since you mentioned it, I do have a screen protector on the iPad, and there's like something called Paper-like. A lot of people like that. I have the screen protector that works just fine. So, and it's like a $10, $15 thing. And I forget what the name of the company is. But when I was at Lightbox, there were a couple of people that showed me two different screens for the iPad that you put on top of the screen that makes it better to use. So I might be getting those. And the new iPads have two versions of screens. One of them is just kind of like the glass, the normal one. But they also have one that has like a tooth to it. And I have friends that have those, and they like them too. So you could use that. Yeah. All right. So why did I do this? Now I'm completely lost as to what I was doing. Oh yeah, I was going to use this feature, and I'm just want to see if it works well here. This project primitive feature, and whoa, what is going on here? Let's see if this works. Yep, it does work. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to get kind of a circular shape here. So I'm going to hold this down, make this bigger. Something like that, and move it into place. It is kind of limiting itself by this box, which is fine. Actually, it's giving me an interesting design that I didn't really think about, and I am just going to accept this. Like so. Okay, and go back to this. And let's see what we got. All right, well, this is kind of a cool thing. So again, I'm veering off of the Kaneda bike a little bit. And this design kind of, oh, don't want to zoom in that much. This design kind of looks nice to me. I like what I just did. And maybe not have it be so wide. Take it in a bit. But I do like what I did here with this design. I might just keep that. Now what's happening here is that, did I duplicate that piece? Is that what happened? Let me see. No, it's the same piece. That's weird. All right, let's just solo this out and see what's going on. Oh, it was masked. So part of it was masked for some weird reason. Yeah, it's fine. I'll just re-Dynamesh it. Happy accident here. Let's just kind of go back to this. And I'll probably refine this to be better. But just from a sketch perspective, I kind of like this idea of having this kind of wider, bigger thing here in the back, which basically probably is the engine of the bike. I'm sure this bike is some sort of an electric bike, so it's over here. And then I have to figure out how this attaches over here too, so I just need to do that. All right, so nothing new in the chat. I can continue on. Now I'm also going to do the same thing that I did here. I'm just going to go ahead and grab this color and fill object this in the back. So again, so I know what's what. I mean, eventually they'll be the same color, but for now, since they're separate pieces, I just want to figure out how these are kind of connecting. It's funny, on the Kaneda bike, it's just, you know, there's this piece over here is just kind of, you know, separated out this way. And I don't know if I'm going to do the same thing, because that seems like, I think that there probably could be a better thing if it just goes a little bit more in like this and kind of grabs onto it. So there's kind of more of a, you know, from a design perspective, there's more of a, and this thing does not have symmetry, not a problem. We'll mirror and weld it. Oh. Okay, like that. And then let's turn symmetry on for it. Yeah, some of the stuff on the iPad is really nice. Like, for example, if I want to turn symmetry on, I just like it's right here. The way that these menus are, and then you can like press and hold and then get this menu to come up. All this is really very, very innovative UI design. They did a really, really good job. And again, when I go back to the desktop, I'm like, you know, it'd be nice if we had some of these things there. I'm sure we will at some point, but for now. You can get frustrated. I've been using ZBrush for a very long time, and it's amazing how much has happened to ZBrush from the earlier days to now. So, all right, I'm just going to bring this out, flatten it. All right, I kind of like how that's attaching. Excuse me. It's funny, I was feeling sick earlier this week, and I was kind of worried that I wasn't going to make the stream, but I feel a lot better now. I had this really bad cough. All right. All right, so this is kind of interesting thing going on here in the back, and once the color adjusts, I think it will look a lot better. Let's re-Dynamesh it. Right, starting to come together little by little. Let's figure out some details and stuff to do over here. It'd be nice to kind of have like something that goes across this way. I'll probably make me pop an alpha in there or something, but let's see if I can create some sort of a channel here that kind of connects this circle to this section. All right. Do I speak any other languages? I do. I speak 4 languages. All right, Blind Wolfie, thanks for sticking with us, and hopefully we'll see you again on one of these streams. And yeah, no, I speak 4 languages, but I don't think I can stream in those languages. English is definitely my primary language. If the Turkish folks are on here, I do know some Turkish words as well. God, it would be interesting for me to stream in a different language. Wow. It'd be a challenge. Say all the ZBrush stuff in another language. I think there are some people that stream in different languages. I think there's a Japanese streamer. I think there's a Russian streamer. I don't know if they're still streaming. I don't know. Like the number of streamers has kind of changed quite a bit over time. They're adding new people every now and again. But yeah, I think Pablo streams still. I think Pavlovich is still there. Some of the old school folks are not old school, but the kind of the, I don't know if I should call it old school, but some of the people that have been there since the start of the streams are still around. But it changes over time. I've been on for quite a while. Like I said, this is the 11th season, so I've been doing it for a while. Right, how are we doing on time? Okay, 8:39. I think I'm going to, this is kind of a good point to stop it at today. I think I'm going to end it a little bit early, but I do want to show the sketchboard, so I'll do that. So before I do that, let me mention a few things here. So I'm going to, let me save this before I forget. Here we go, done. And I'm going to turn off the video capture device. Okay, and just bring you to that. And just mention a few things. If you guys like my work, I'm trying to click on here, but it's not. So let me get this sketchboard out of the way so I can show it to you guys. So basically, it looks like this. So it's kind of like this big, let me try. just this big kind of plastic border or frame that goes around the iPad. Looks like something like this, and has a nice handle, and also has the pegs in the back, like you can see these holes, and you just put the pegs on, and then you can have 3 different angles. Like you can have it kind of angled this way or flat or whatever, and then you can just use your iPad that way. All right, so enough of the iPad. Just to show you some things about me and my work and things you can get. Let's see here. Best thing to do is if you want to see my work, you can go to my Instagram. And that's instagram.com/Kermaco, Kermaco. And this is the bike rider. So she's going to be the rider, and the motorcycle is going to go behind her. I already have a scene. I've got everything going on. I just need to add the motorcycle. So I'll be doing that when we're done with this project. And so drop a like, and you can follow me if you want on here. This is something else that we worked on last time. I might kind of weave this in and out of this season of streams. And yeah, so this is a good place to go to see all my stuff. And I have a link tree here. So if you click on that, it links up to my portfolio and my Gnomon workshop videos and Gumroad, etc., etc. So all my links are here. LinkedIn, YouTube, all that stuff is right here. And on Gnomon, I've got 2 titles on the Gnomon workshop. I've got a Designing a Piloted Combat Mech. Both of these are very ZBrush heavy. And so you can go ahead and look at these. This is photogrammetry and how to do a digital double or a digital human. And this one is Designing this Mech. These are at the Gnomon workshop, and you can subscribe to this and be able to watch my videos. This is more comprehensive. It's a kind of a start to end tutorial. I start out with modeling something in VR. So first of all, I show how I do my research. So if I have a project that I'm working on, this is how I do my research. I use VR to do concepting sometimes. So I show how I use Adobe Medium. And also I can show how I do rapid thumbnailing and then do the overall shape in ZBrush. And then I model it in ZBrush, model all the different parts, and then load it into Substance Painter and give it a nice texture, and then render it in KeyShot. So there's that. And also the other thing that I also have is, this is my portfolio site. So again, if you just go to the link tree and click on portfolio, it takes you to here. And these are some of my works that you can look at. And also, I do have a Gumroad where I have these primitive brushes. I have a free version, which has 17 brushes that you can get. And these primitives are kind of a little bit better than the ones that come with ZBrush. They're polygrouped. The circles are perfect circles, and so you can get this one for free. It's got 17 brushes, and I also have one that has 36 brushes that has some extra brushes that I use all the time, and that one's $5. So it has all these in addition to quite a few other ones. And if you guys like my UI colors, which you didn't see in ZBrush this time around, but if you like my UI colors, you can download them here. Again, they're free as well. So there's that, and I think that's it. So those are all my websites. Definitely go and check out my my Instagram. Follow me. Drop a like. It really helps. And let people know about it. Share it with your friends. I could use to bump this number up from 2,000 to 3 or 4 or 10 or whatever. And yeah, so that's that. And then the other thing, let's see, is there anything else I want to mention? I showed you guys the sketchboard. It's pretty neat. Do I have ZBrush loaded here? I do. Yeah, and this is the other model that we'll be working on. I kind of work on it off and on, but I might continue working on this stream as well. So this is kind of a parallel project going on. I guess this is the first season where I'm actually working on 2 things, and I'll be weaving in and out of it. I did make some more changes to my UI. As you can see, it's an evolving project, and yeah, I will be working on this as well. All right, folks. Well, with that, I wish you all a good day, good night, or whatever time of day it is there. And happy ZBrushing. I am on every other Friday. So next Friday I'm off. And then the Friday after that, I'll be on again. Same time, same channel. Try to log in live. It's always fun to have more people on live. And if you don't catch me live, you can always go to the YouTube channel, Maxon's YouTube channel, and or Maxon's ZBrush Live YouTube channel. I need to make note of that. And then you can watch these videos after the fact as well. And if you missed something in today's stream, you can always go back and watch it after the fact. It's available right after this ends. All right, with that, I bid you all a good night.